diese Zeit zurückgeht, als Computer noch ziemlich große Kisten waren oder als ein Faxgerät noch absolute Hightech und eine Neuigkeit war, in die Zeit der visionären Pioniere der Medienkunst. Und das ist die neue Kategorie, die neue goldene Nika, die wir heuer zum ersten Mal ausrichten. Natürlich ein bisschen auch unter dem Aspekt, dass Ars Electronica heuer 35 Jahre alt geworden ist, dass wir auf 35 Jahre Medienkunst und Medientechnologiegeschichte zurückblicken können, aber die geht natürlich viel weiter zurück. Und wir haben eine Kategorie geschaffen, die einen ganz besonderen Auswahlprozess durchlaufen hat. Wir haben alle bisherigen Gewinner und Gewinnerinnen einer goldenen Nika gebeten, aus ihrer Sicht die wichtigste Person aus der Medienkunstgeschichte namhaft zu machen, den Pionier, die Pionierin der Medienkunst ausfindig zu machen und dann zu wählen. Das war ein unheimlich spannender Prozess. Das sind an die 200 Leute mittlerweile, die da beteiligt waren, und der Gewinner ist dieses Jahr der erste Visionary Pioneer of Media Art, den wir auszeichnen, ist der Roy Ascott. Und bevor ich ihn auf die Bühne hole, dürfen wir uns ein kleines Video anschauen, in dem wir sehen, warum er diesen Preis verdient.
Stop thinking about artworks as objects and start thinking about them as triggers for experiences. Kunstwerke soll man nicht als Objekte sehen, sondern als Auslöser für Erfahrungen. So will der heuer 80-jährige britische Künstler, Theoretiker und Lehrer Roy Ascott, dass wir uns der Kunst nähern. Seit den 60er Jahren hat der aus Bath gebürtige Roy Ascott immer wieder versucht, seine Vision von einer kybernetischen und telematischen Kunst zu verwirklichen, eigentlich interaktive Kunst, noch bevor der PC entwickelt wurde. Bei den weltweit bedeutenden Ausstellungen in Venedig, Shanghai, London, Paris, Amsterdam war er dabei, die Liste ist endlos. Bei der Ars Electronica hat Roy Ascott 1989 Aspects of Gaia im Brucknerhaus präsentiert, ein Computernetzwerk in Form einer interaktiven Installation.
I long to be many selves, distributed through the networks. I long to be in many places at many times. I am many selves. It's simply a cultural construct that is very much a part of our Western culture, that has insisted on the unitary self, I think.
Roy Ascotts Schriften haben Wesentliches zur Medienkunstdebatte der letzten Jahrzehnte beigetragen. Auf Basis der Kybernetik hat er in den 60er Jahren den radikalen Ground Course entwickelt. Seine Schüler waren damals unter anderen Künstlern Brian Eno und Pete Townsend, letzterer Gitarrist und Sänger der legendären britischen Rockband The Who. Heute ist Roy Ascott Tao Master of Technoetic Art in Shanghai, Professor an der Plymouth University in Südwestengland, und seine Arbeiten sind Teil der ständigen Sammelschau der Tate Gallery. Doch museal ist Roy Ascott noch lange nicht, denn in seinen jüngsten künstlerischen und theoretischen Arbeiten befasst er sich mit der Verbindung von Computertechnologie, Telekommunikation und Biologie.
Ja, und jetzt darf ich Roy Ascott einmal zu mir auf die Bühne bitten. Gratulation, herzlich willkommen. I think many people who have been equally inspired by your work, whether it's your artistic work, your work as a professor, as a teacher, as a mentor, and by the many forward-thinking ideas that you always have developed. I have to confess, I'm also one of these. I remember when I still was a very young student in 1986, there was this wonderful project on the Venice Biennale. I drove there to see real art, and then I ended up in a planetary network, and I really remember how this kind of blew all my fuses, and I really suddenly understood, and I didn't understand it, but I felt that there is something with computer and technology that is different. And I think this is really maybe the strong, in my point of view, among many, the strongest legacy that you and your work is leaving, that you were one of the first who understood that the computer is not just another machine to make beautiful music or beautiful images, but that the real power of the computer, when it is connected, is the social dimension, it's the interactive, the participatory, and I would say even the human aspect. I think this has been the driving force in your work since all these decades.
That's absolutely the case, as you put it succinctly. Maybe you could write some more things for me. Yeah, absolutely so. It's an environment, not simply a tool. And that environment encourages social interaction and, I think, social creativity, which is the most important aspect or potential of it. So it's a wonderful medium to work with, as long as the human aspect is foremost, which it so often is, but sometimes it can simply become a tool for tricks and illusions and so on and so forth, which is another dimension.
Just to explain it again, what they did in the early 80s is they connected 24, I think, locations all over the world with telephone lines, fax machines, and all the very clumsy technology that was available. So they created a prototype of social media at the time when the founders of Google and Facebook still were in their diapers. So when you see now this huge dimension, the one side, your idea, your vision has become true. We are a global social community, but then we have all these very negative and not so nice aspects. So what is your
Part of the problem, I think, is yes, we have this wonderful social connectivity, but in those important areas of life, like learning and education, we still have the old models. We have those university level divisions between disciplines, and what the artist always has done and can do with this new technology is to work at the interstices of disciplines, of areas of interest. But we, in my view, we have to begin to look at these institutions of learning, schools at every sort of level, at universities, as organisms in which everyone is interactive, and a wholly different other approach to the ways in which learning can take place has to be considered. And that the technology makes this possible, but political ideologies may prevent it. But I do think we have a generation coming through now so totally integrated into networks, into social networks and so on. However trivial some of the discussions or exchanges may seem to the outside, but there we do have a generation coming through. This connectivity, this planetary connectivity, as you put it, is actually flowing through their veins. So I'm very, very optimistic for the future for that.
So also you will have your 80th birthday very soon. 26th of October is the big day, so congratulations already. So you have your 80th birthday very soon. I know you are full with ideas, plans and projects. You have to imagine, just to be here, he flew from Brazil to Linz, and the next day is Sunday, I think, he's going not back to England but already to Shanghai. And I think there is a very big project that you are starting.
On Monday, I opened my studio in Shanghai, and this month we start the first 4-year degree. It's the old model. Well, it's a degree in that sense, but we're bringing some degrees of innovation into the teaching. And the terms of reference, things like moist media, hypercortex, cyberception, these are replacing some of the categories of learning and classes, if you like, of the older form. So I'm very, very optimistic, and the Chinese nation at the moment is absolutely ready for moving into the future. We have tremendous support. I have a wonderful team, a very small team, but from all over the world, actually from Greece and Brazil, from China, of course, and from Spain. So it's a truly international team that I've been able to bring together with wonderful support from our host, the Jitao Group, which is in turn innovating the ways in which architecture and design and so on and so forth basically can learn, actually, from the United States and from Europe, not the styles or the models, as we've seen in previous cultures, of copying, but actually trying to get hold of the ways that we bring innovation about, that we bring creativity, we elicit creativity from young people. It's a great experiment, and I'm very, very happy to be part of that. Yeah.
So how many years are left until the Chinese will be more creative than we? The major question.
I'm not going there.
Okay.
I'm not going there.
Well, thank you very much, and then please come back later for the award ceremony. Congratulations again. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.